What's going on, everybody? It's Jay here from Nerd Takes, and today I wanted to give you my take on The Gentleman. Netflix has a new series out called The Gentleman, which is a Guy Ritchie creation, and if it sounds like you may have heard that before, that's because he also made a movie with the title The Gentleman back in 2020. I actually highly recommend it if you haven't seen it before because it's a very good film. But this review is about the new series version of his work, and I thought this show was absolutely brilliant. In classic Guy Ritchie fashion, there's a lot of style and elegance to this show, as well as cleverness and humor, and it's entertaining and gripping right from the very first episode all the way through the last. Without getting into spoilers, the story is about a soldier from an aristocratic English family who, upon returning home to be there for his father's last moments, inherits not only his father's title, but his business ventures as well, which are not of the legal variety. From there, the story really begins. One crazy event leads to the next, creating a very entertaining and fun to watch series that has you craving the next episode every time you finish one. From the events to the characters, it honestly kind of feels like a storyline you'd see in a Grand Theft Auto game that was set in the UK. There's so much done well in this show that it's hard to choose where to begin, so I suppose I'll start with what stood out to me first while watching, which was the characters. There is a ton of personality to the different characters in the show, from the main ones to the smaller ones. They all have very distinct ways about them that, even when some don't have a ton of depth, they're still incredibly entertaining to watch. Part of that is how well they were written, and the other part is how well the roles were acted. For example, the main character Eddie is a very calm and steady individual who's also very smart and smooth, while his brother Freddie, in contrast, is a chaotic mess who's very animated. Eddie is the lightning rod in the storm that is Freddy, so the way they were written goes really well with one another. On top of that, both actors do a great job at bringing that writing to life, especially Freddy, who was undoubtedly my favorite character in the show. The story itself is very interesting and clever. It's not overly complicated, but it's also not incredibly basic either. It finds a sweet spot right in the middle and strives in that spot. It's an intricate story where each event that unfolds holds a lot of weight on what comes next. It's also one that has some really good twists and surprises and is just well thought out and put together. The dialogue is another case of really good writing and acting. It's very elegant and smooth, and at times ranges from intense and intimidating to laugh out loud funny. The actors all do a phenomenal job at delivering the lines with energy and feeling. The cinematography is beautiful and very stylish. There's some really breathtaking scenery in this, as well as parts that are filmed in a very Guy Ritchie kind of style that always looks great on screen. One thing that's also very common for a Guy Ritchie project, but here it's done in one of the best ways I've seen him do it, was the editing. It was honestly one of the best examples of how editing can not only add to the style of a project, but amplify the storytelling as well. He used some really clever and quick editing to help show more than just tell when referencing things that had happened in the past during a conversation two characters were having, as well as a really good use of some on screen writing, which would be easy to mess up and have it be distracting. But in this, it was actually really helpful for some of the conversations that were happening. Plus, again, it just added to the overall unique style of the show. This was one of those shows that surprised me with just how good it really was. It wasn't one that I had on my radar until I saw the trailer, and even then, I wasn't expecting it to be my favorite show of the year so far, but it certainly ended up being exactly that. I can't recommend this one enough. It's a really well made series, and for me, one of the best series that Netflix has released in a long time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back again with another review soon.